Alright, creating a test render of the Blender animation with physics. What's going on right now is it's just rendering the first 2 seconds of the film, and then once it hits frame 60 there, an object will start moving in order to collide with it. You can see that over there. That's going to be my object that collides with the purple cube and destroys it with the physics in the Blender game engine. So what I have done so far is pretty much I have gone through and created a new, over here on the cube, I've gone through and I've created 2 different materials. One for the cube surface, which is the purple, and then the material, like you can see right there that is purple, using the Nayar. Like, I'm gonna say effect, and then this one is using kind of like a yellow. It is the inside of the cube, so that when it breaks apart, it will not all be purple. The inside of it will be kind of like this yellow color, and that is using the Lambert effect. I have dealt with these specular and given them 2 different things. That way you can possibly see what those look like. I may take the lights or lamps, as you can see right there, and above the other cube in my scene, and I may make them a different color to see how that affects it. But right now, what is essentially, that's really all I have going right now, and I will upload later on what it looks like when I actually collide it and figure out how to render it. Then I will also put that in the video. Alright, that's update for now, and what it is about 7:36 p.m. 09242015. Alright, in itself we have what I'm going to call a bullet, and then this big block over here, which is a rigid body, which I'm just going to call the activator. So what I have done is I have set up the bullet to travel in a motion this way. As you can see by my cursor, it will travel through the cube, and the physics engine of Blender will take care of the explosion for me. So how I achieve this is for each different shard, I have done a thing called setting logic bricks in the gaming engine. What normally, when you run a simulation in the gaming engine, whatever your shards are, they will just automatically fall. So what I've done is I have set a logic brick, a delay logic brick, leading into the connecting brick, which will lead over to a dynamics or an edit object brick with the dynamics, and then the operation is suspending the dynamics. What that means is that it will no longer, immediately when you start the simulation, explode. So in order to counter that, like whenever the bullet would travel through it, then it wouldn't do anything. So in order to change that, I have added an activator, which I will select here quick, which sends an always sensor. It has a connector, and then it has the action. This is the same thing I use to animate the bullet, essentially. What this means is that it will travel through the object the same way the bullet would. Now, what I have done is I have also added back on the shards, selected one of the shards. They all have the exact same thing, which I'll show you later. I have added another logic brick, a collision brick, leading into another connector brick, and then a restore dynamics. Now, how I did this is I set the collision so that anytime something with this specific material, which I have called easy because I was bored and I didn't want to think of a name, every time something with that material touches the shard, it will restore the dynamics. Now, my activator has the easy material. So, as soon as the activator hits the cube, it will restore the dynamics, giving them enough time to prepare for the bullet to hit. Now the activator travels just in front of the bullet, about I would say 0.02 blender units ahead of the bullet, and which gives it just enough time to prepare for a collision without making you be able to see it start to fall apart. Now, how I did that, how I edited the rigid body known as activator, is I simply made it a rigid body, I made an actor, I turned it ghost and invisible. What the ghost does is it won't actually collide and make the things explode themselves. It will just pass through them. Invisible means you can't see it. I have added a collision bounds box with a margin of 1 so that it will select everything that it has hit with that specific logic brick. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run a simulation to show you exactly what is happening. So I'm just going to shut that a little bit, and then I'm going to run a simulation by pressing P in the Blender game rendering. Hit P and see how it explodes. Alright, the current update, it is 8:52 p.m. 09242015. Update number 3, and this one is in the form of a video vlog because I really don't actually have anything to show. See, what actually happened is immediately after the last update that I made, I screwed with something I wasn't supposed to. I screwed the entire thing up. I got really mad. I deleted the file. I went to take a shower. I grabbed some more Arnold Palmer, some mozzarella cheese, and some salami. Took a break, and now I'm back, and I'm probably going to start over. So I'm probably going to make it a little bit more simple, less of a scene, just plain, kind of like what you see on most YouTube videos. So, yeah, I will make updates on that now. Alright, bye. Alright, update number 4. So, what I have so far is I have added a cube that you can see, and I have made it so I can simulate it pretty much exploding. So I will show you that here by pressing P in the Blender game engine. Simulated, and it has hit the ground. Yeah. So that's where I am so far. It is now 9:30, 09242015. Alright. Alright, update number whatever update this is. I've lost track. So pretty much what I've done now is I have added a little tiny bullet, if you can see that. Looks exactly like a bullet would, And I have taken my cube, and what I have pretty much done is I have made a very simple little animation of it traveling through. You'll see that take off here, right there. And with the exploitation, I made it so it will just continuously go on forever and ever. You can see it because that little red arrow. I go down here, and yeah, it's just going to go on forever and ever and never stop. So yeah, that's where I am right now. Alright, it's time for my next video vlog. What I have added so far is the activator and the bullet animation. So, I have actually taken the time to go through and clean this up a lot. I have gotten it more accurate, so when I go through and animate, now instead of it being kind of sloppy where the activator is somewhere ahead of the bullet, just ahead, I have actually gone through and made it exact completely the entire way, and the activator is no longer 70,000 times the size of the original object. Now, the activator travels the exact same distance in front of the bullet no matter where it is. I achieve this by giving both the activator and the bullet Or actually, I didn't give it the same origin as the bullet, I gave it the same origin as the empty, which you can see is a little arrow right there. That empty and the activator have the exact same origin. So, I have given them both the same animation. That's it for now. Alright, what I am hoping to be my last update is I have set everything up like I did in the updates before this, so now I have a pretty simple simulation which I will run and just quickly show you. Running bullet, and we have a very nice collision. Alright, so I have only run into one problem, and that is this guy right here won't let me bake his animation of going in and activating all the shards. So I just have to figure that out before I can render it. Alright, I will get that figured out. Bye. Alright, as you can see, I am doing the final render of it. I fixed the issue I was having before with the rigid body. I figured out not moving. To be entirely honest with you, I have no idea how I figured it out. I just kind of spammed things inside something called the NLA editor. I don't even know what that is really. I should probably look into that. That seems like it could be useful in the future. So, yep, as you can see, yeah, it's kind of just exploded frame by frame. And yeah, I am on frame 140 right now of 250. Pretty simple little animation that has taken me, let's see, I started this at 6, so about 6 hours to do. Joy. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.